So I am finally starting the MCU reviews on my channel. So this is my review of Iron Man. So I have watched this movie a couple times before this, and I kind of just ignored this as an okay superhero movie that was okay but not that good. And I kind of just ignored this as an okay superhero movie that was boring and just not very good. And I was sure about that because I had watched it multiple times and decided this every time. So a big reason of me waiting to start the MCU series was because I just did not want to watch this movie. Because I remembered it as a boring movie. And like I said, just not a very good movie. But now I've rewatched it and my opinion has changed. So I genuinely have no idea how I decided multiple times after watching this that it's a boring movie. Because it's really not. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention or something. It was like a year ago that I watched it for the last time. So maybe I just have a different taste in movies. But I still think calling this just okay and a boring movie is kind of insane. Because I actually really enjoyed this movie. It was a lot of fun to watch. And in the start I was unsure and expected to be bored. But I actually really enjoyed it. And I am genuinely confused how I called this movie boring and came to that conclusion after watching it multiple times. Also, the story was pretty good. And I was interested in the story the entire time. Or at least when I started realizing it was actually good. But I was actually very interested in the story. And the origin story was great. Also, Tony Stark was actually pretty good in this movie. And I actually really liked him changing after being captured and him becoming Iron Man. And it's one of the best origin stories I've seen. Really going from not really caring to becoming a hero. And also him flying for the first time with the Iron Man suit was genuinely awesome. But what might be even better than Tony was the villain of this movie. Which is much better than I remember him being. Obadiah was actually really well acted by Jeff Bridges. Like, this is probably the most well acted character in this movie. And one of the best villains I've seen in any superhero movie. And out of the limited amount of MCU movies I've seen, this is probably the best villain out of any of those. I did think the scene of Pepper finding out he's actually the bad guy, and then him walking in and then finding out that she knows after she leaves. That was such a great scene. That was one of the best scenes in the entire movie. Probably my favorite scene of the entire movie. Also, this movie has really good action. And it doesn't have that much action, but when it does, it's really good. It still looks great and it's very enjoyable to watch. So this was a really enjoyable movie that I kind of misunderstood for a while. And now that I know that this is a good movie, I am more excited for my reviews of the other MCU movies because they might actually be better than I think they are. Anyway, so next up is The Incredible Hulk. I don't know how soon I will do that, but it's probably tomorrow. The Incredible Hulk is a movie I've never watched. I have only watched Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Captain America the First Avenger, Avengers, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Captain America Brave New World, and Fantastic Four First Steps. So I still have a lot I haven't watched, and that includes Incredible Hulk. Anyway, so please subscribe if you want to see me review more movies. If you want to see me review a specific movie, you can suggest one in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.